Okay, the last section of chapter 8. These really are just more extension or application problems for right triangle trig. Okay. First, we're going to talk about the kind of the vocab, angles of elevation and angles of depression. Okay. Thing to keep in mind with this is that elevation or depression, the angle is always formed by the horizontal line of sight. Okay, elevation is going to be objects above the horizontal line of sight. So think of like if you're looking straight ahead and then you look up at something, that angle created from where you were looking here to what that line of sight that you're looking at here, this angle that's created, that is the angle of elevation. And the angle of depression is the angle that's formed by that line of sight when you're looking at an object below your horizontal line of sight. Okay, so you're looking straight ahead and then you see something on the ground and you look down at the ground. That angle there that's formed by those two different line of sights, okay? Lines of sight. Please, 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 when you hear angle of depression, do not draw your triangle like this and then make this your angle of depression. Don't do it. It's wrong. Okay. So we're just going to jump to examples. Example 1 says, Leah wants to see a castle in an amusement park. She sees the top of the 190-foot castle when she looks up at an angle of elevation of 38 degrees. If Leah is 5.5 feet tall, how far away is she from the castle to the nearest foot? Okay. So we want to know how far away she is. Our angle of elevation is 38 degrees. Okay. Now, if she is 5.5 feet tall, we are actually going to take 5.5 away from that 190 feet, which means this distance of this right triangle here is 184.5. Okay. So now moving into trig, if this is our angle, our reference angle, 184.5 is opposite, x is adjacent. So we are going to use the regular tangent function. Tangent of 38 over 1 equals 184.5 over x. Cross multiply. X times the tangent of 38 is 184.5. And then divide both sides by the tangent of 38, which means that we are about, or I guess Leah is about, 236.2 feet away. Okay, and if we're going to follow directions, you answering 236 feet will do. Okay, number 2. The crossbar of a goalpost is 10 feet high. Here's our goalpost. And a field goal attempt is made 25 yards out. Okay, I'm also going to note that 25 yards is 75 feet because that's our goalpost is being measured in feet. Okay. It says the ball clears the goal by 1 foot. So what was 10 feet, we want to add another foot for a total of 11 feet. And then we want to know what angle of elevation should the ball be kicked at. Okay, so again, looking at some trig, here's our reference angle. 11 is opposite. 75 is adjacent. Since we are trying to find an angle measure, we are going to use the inverse of tangent to find our angle measure. Okay, and again, we don't want to use 25 because that's in yards. We want to use 75 because that's in feet. We want our units to match. That means we need to kick the ball at about 8.3 degrees. Okay. Number 3, a search and rescue team is airlifting people from the scene of a boating accident when they see another person in need of help. Okay, so here's our helicopter. Helicopter? Yeah. Here's their horizontal line of sight. Okay. The angle of depression to the other person is 42 degrees. Okay. So this here, we've got our right triangle. Okay. The helicopter is 18 feet above the water. Okay, so yes, this here is 18 feet, but if we're going to use our right triangle, this distance is also 18 feet. And we want to know the horizontal distance from the rescuers, so from the helicopter to the person in need. Okay, reference angle, 18 is opposite. What we're trying to find is adjacent. Since we're looking for a side length, we are going to use our regular trig function. Tangent of 42 is 18 over x. X times the tangent of 42 is 18. And we're going to divide both sides by the tangent of 42. And 18 divided by tangent of 42 gets me about 20 feet. So if they're going to have to say they're going to have to fly to get right above that person that needs help, they're going to have to fly about 20 feet to get straight ahead of them, or straight above them. Okay. We've got a lifeguard watching a beach from a line of sight 6 feet above the ground. Okay, so I'm just going to, yikes, redraw this. Okay, that line of sight 6 feet above the ground. Okay, she sees a swimmer at an angle of depression of 8 degrees. How far away from the tower is the swimmer? Okay, so this looks very familiar. 8 degrees is our reference angle. 6 is opposite. What we're trying to find is adjacent. So again, tangent. We get x times the tangent of 8 when we cross multiply. Divide everything by the tangent of 8. We get to the nearest foot, means that that swimmer is about 43 feet away from the tower. Okay. We are actually going to skip number 5. Number 5 is not a question that we are going to assess over, so I'm happy to go over it in class when we're together. It's a fun problem, but it is pretty tedious and pretty advanced. So if, as a whole, if we want to go over number 5 together, we can, but as far as notes go, you are done.